Our youth are not going to hold us easily accountable. They will put us through the grind, saying, what are you all doing? If sentiments can govern our markets and therefore all of us feel buoyed at one point and completely watered down on the other, so is the economy. Startups have proven to us in the last 5 years, against all odds, how they can progress and how they've made India the third largest ecosystem. Make all of us think about is, like the markets, there is a sentiment which prevails in a country to grow. You need to have that positivity, you need to have that self-belief. And if this is said, the unsaid is, you need to be the last person to run down your own country. You need to believe in India's capacities. It is that sentiment which is missing, if anything, today, so that all of us can trust each other and say, yes, we can do it and move forward. Now, for every one good big thing which happens, there are 100 people who say, oh, it's nothing at all. Oh, come on, we did it during so-and-so's era as Prime Minister, so what you're doing now is no good. No, please, earlier Prime Ministers would have achieved 100 things. In today's context, if you're achieving something, would you want to go along with it? Or stand against the tide and say, I believe what happened earlier, but I don't believe anything that you do today. Are you living in today or are you living in 60s and 70s India? We saw what happened in those ages. I'm not denying any achievements of any prime ministers of the day. But today, with the given challenges and with the kind of sustained growth that we are showing, and not just Indians saying it, you may question MOSPI's data, you may question anything. But every agency outside says India is the fastest growing country. All right, not 12%, at least 6.5, at least 7. And when I say at least, it's not to say I want some concessions in understanding. 6.5 or 7 sustained for the last post-COVID era. Are we serious? And there is not one sector which is also, not growing or which is lagging behind. Periodically, you can always come up automobile sectors in difficulty. They're sitting with inventory. Some other sector. I met with an eminent representative of the automobile sector. Very clearly, we should understand what kind of changes have happened in India over the last, let us say, 7-8 years. We rapidly want to match up with the global standards in emission. Europe, after having achieved a certain level of per capita income, says my level of emission will be this. Very well for them. But we brought in that level of emission standards even when we are still at 2,000 per capita income. Which means on the one hand, we want to move fast. On the other, the more the standard rigor, the more the rigorous standard that you're bringing in, the cost of the vehicle goes up. Many people who are aspiring to own their first vehicle can't buy it because of the emission requirements making the cost of vehicle going up. I'm not saying emission standards should not be followed, but let us understand that jacks up the cost. Now, if car sales are therefore hit, look at India. You can never achieve what China has achieved. Please. For every one global disturbance, which we meet and try to rise above, the disturbance is forgotten. But the rigor with which you're going forward is the question. Oh no, but post-COVID, K-shaped recovery, B-shaped recovery, C-shaped. Ring all the alphabets you want, but we are moving forward, aren't we? So my expectation, other than everything else, banks will have to be robust, credit will have to be available, fuel cost will have to be low, more funds will have to be available for small and medium industries. The rigor with which you want to have ease of doing business should also trickle down to states. Your municipalities and local bodies will have to do well. All that said, sentiment, please, If sentiments can govern our markets and therefore all of us feel buoyed at one point and completely watered down on the other, so is the economy. In spite of the achievements, if we go on naysaying, our youth are not going to hold us easily accountable. They will put us through the grind, saying, what are you all doing? Startups have proven to us in the last 5 years, against all odds, how they can progress and how they've made India the third largest ecosystem. Ashwini spoke about it. If they are able to do that, shouldn't all of us try and do this and make India do faster, grow faster? I would strongly pitch for an optimistic tenor, and not when we are not really growing at all. Fastest growing last 3-4 years continuously. At this time too, we don't want to be optimistic.